So without wasting much time, I'm going to call on Joseph Njeri to start with his presentation. Thank you very much.
1, 2. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Can we all clap for yourself? That's not good. That's not good. I want more of that. Come on, we gotta fill the house. So I think I gotta start with introduction. I think first of all, thank you so much for such a warm introduction. I don't think I probably deserve it, but thank you for what you did, and thank you, Wakili, for partnering with me today to come and share some of the good news we have for families, friends, relatives, and what have you. So today we got a full-blown agenda. The topic I have here, go back to the last slide, the first slide. Yes, sure. So I titled it Winning as an Immigrant, okay? And this is not all about it. There's a lot more involved for us people or you who is interested one day to move out of these countries and go look for better opportunities. So we'll talk that. I know it took a lot of courage, a lot of time for you to be here today. So I want to thank you personally from the people parts of my heart. I don't take this for granted that you closed your stores, you went to church, you came early, you missed your lunch, blah, 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 blah. So I want to thank all of you for that dedication, for being here. Next slide. So let me quickly introduce my family. All my family is up in the US. This picture is probably 5 years ago. So those kids you see there, they are grown men now. I have a 21-year-old, I have 17 and a half and 16 and a half. They're both in US. Despite what Kasongo told me when I tried to come to this beloved country, they told me I'm not a Kenyan. Despite all that, I am fully born here. My uncles, nieces, cousins, sisters can all attest to that. I did not grow up in Nairobi. I grew up in Muranga. That's a typo there. But currently, I live in Columbus for probably 14 years. That is in Ohio. Typically, most Kenyans call it Ohio, which I used to do when I was here. And then I moved from Columbus. Now I live in Cincinnati, and I have been there for the last 8 years. School-wise, I went to Strathmore College. Those days we used to call it, I believe it was Strathmore College, but I hear there is a Strathmore University now. I did my CPA-K there, worked here for a while as an accountant at ART. That was a hire purchase company, and then moved to a company called FinTech, where this opportunity for me to immigrate came through. And then I moved to US. I went to Franklin University. I did masters in business administrations, focusing more on finance. Those were 3 years. And then after that, I joined Capital University Law School up also in Ohio, where I did 5 years of schooling, graduated, went to New York, did my bar in New York. That's not on the slide, and became a lawyer then. Part of my values, and most of my family members know here, is family, faith, and sports. Sport because I love sports. My kids play sports. My sister played sports, so I think it is just in us. And then in addition to that, I believe in integrity. I believe in trust. I believe in being transparent. And part of that is why I have this group here helping me build that transparency in this country, because this is something that I think lack in this country. Many of your friends have gone through immigration processes where you have been either defrauded or it has taken longer than it because people are trying to use shortcuts, people are trying to do things to you, and the wrong things. So this is a quote that I read from a book. It's a flexible people don't get bent out of shape. We want to be flexible because we live in a changing time. And so if you're not flexible, you don't adjust, you could be bent out of shape. And life is too short not to use all your vacation days. So I put that one because my previous boss, worked all days, never took vacation. But I wanted to tell him, for me, vacation is a priority. Um, as much as he didn't want me to take vacations. Nelson Mandela had a quote which I want to share with you because it might help one of you in future. There's no passion to be foul playing small in settling for life that is less than the one you are capable of living. So if you think you are living a life smaller than you're capable of living, always challenge yourself, okay? There is no passion for that. So you want to challenge yourself. And taking challenges mean taking risk. I took risks. I take risks. Even today, I took risks. I had hired these people they did a great job. It's people I had not met before, you know? The great team set them up. Look what they've done. They brought us together to share this good news. So those are lists that we all have to do. You take risks in investment. You take risks in establishing banking relationship. You take risks in hiring lawyers, and that's all life about. So no passion is found to be playing small. So do not play small. Play big. If you're gonna lose some, you're gonna gain some. And work smarter, not harder. Many of us are involved in thinking that working hard is the best way to do it. That's how we used to do it 25 years ago, 35 years ago. Now we don't do that anymore because there's IT. So if you find yourself, you don't know something you're looking for, just Google. There's something called AI, Chat AI. It's new. You tell Chat AI today, hey, I'm trying to go to the store. I don't know what to buy, but my appetite is X. Guess what? Chat AI is going to tell you what to go buy. And it's probably going to tell you the exact thing you wanted to buy. Okay. If you're leaving home and you don't know whether there is traffic or not on Thika Road, and our president is passing by for soccer, just ask Chat AI, how can I avoid the president who is going for a soccer game? Chat AI is going to tell you. So work smarter, not harder. And then the last one is key to my heart. You got to help people to unlock their potential. Many of us struggle in life simply because either you haven't opened your heart to let other people walk you through, or others are not willing to unfold their hands to help you out. This is give and take, okay? There are those who always receive, but they don't give. It doesn't work like that. So you got to be able to unlock potential or others, as well as be willing for others to unlock your potential. So a dream and a journey. What is all this about? Every journey starts with a dream. Okay? That was my dream one day. That back in the village, when I was a young man, young small boy, I thought growing up, I never thought I would ever be in America. But one thing I always thought is one day I'm going to be successful. I'm going to be able to feed myself and my family. If you think in terms of immigration, which is the focus of today from my perspective, and our attorney will talk more corporate law, and I'll tell you the reason for that. If you think about immigration, it's not just about visas and what have you, and laws of the land. You know, it could be US or whatever. It's not just about that. It's about dreams, families, courage. And as one time President Reagan said in his speech, and this was more specifically to America, he said, America identity is built by people who come from everywhere to build something better. And that's all what it is about. It's about dreaming of a journey that is going to make you better, make your family better, make your relative better, make your friends better. And that's what it's all about. Okay? So let's watch a quick 3-second video that is going to demonstrate a little bit about this journey. This is a story about a pencil. And maybe some of you have heard about it. I know all of you have used a pencil.
The pencil's tail. Once upon a time, an old pencil maker took his newest pencil aside just before he was about to pack him into a box. Imagining the little fellow as a person, he recalled a few things about the pencil. "There are 5 things you need to know," he said to his pencil. "Before I send you out into the world, always remember these 5 things, never forget them, and you will become the best pencil you can be." The first thing is to remember that you will be able to do many great things, but only if you put yourself in someone else's hands. From time to time, you will experience a painful sharpening, but remember that this will make you a better pencil. Also, keep in mind that you will be able to correct any mistakes you might make along the way. And the most important part of you is what's on the inside. And remember this as well. Upon every surface that you are used, you must leave your mark. No matter what else happens, you must continue to write. It seemed the pencil listened to him and promised he would remember these 5 things so that he could live his life with heart and purpose. You see, in your life, put yourself in someone else's hand, embrace challenges for growth, learn from mistakes, value inner qualities, and leave a positive mark on the world. And you too can become the best pencil.
You are the pencil. You're going to come across, and your job is to write your chapter in this world. I'm writing mine. I'm sure you're writing yours. And then as you walk across this path, you're going to be challenged. You're going to fail. But are you going to keep yourself down, or are you going to rise up and keep walking? The most important element of a pencil is what is inside that pencil. Without it, that's not a pencil. The most important element of our life is our heart. What are you going to do, or what will people remember when you leave this world? All right? So I bring that up to tell you part of what I'm doing today is trying to is planting my seed in our communities. I'm not only setting up business, but I'm also setting up a non-for-profit where I can help people realize their dream, where we can help the girl child get some of the simplest thing they don't have. So as we work with my team in the next few years, you're going to start seeing my company places, my NGO presence in our communities, in Nairobi, wherever. And what we are planning to do is to go to school, to go to homes. We're going to raise funds through parastatals organizations. We're going to make sure every child that we can touch has the basic amenities of life. Okay, whether it's teenager girls who need pads, whether it's they need socks, they need books. We're gonna start touching those lives. Not that we don't do it today. As today, I support a lot of AIDS orphans through a foundation called Malafiki, which is in Kiambu. We raise millions of dollars in America to do that. So what I'm gonna ask you people, you're gonna be part of my life, part of the kids' life, part of the NGO life. So you're going to start seeing my work and our work in our communities. I would ask for your support. Okay. As much as I know all of you have supported me in my business and you support me in my business, and we work together as we continue this journey. It touches me when I have to touch a child. And as part of this journey, I want to leave my mark. All right, so what I wanted to do, and as an agenda, I wanted to go through some of the basic immigration opportunity for those who are willing to go to other countries. And then we're going to have a mock interview, which is where most of the Kenyans are trapped. And I want to teach and coach some of those basic questions, how you answer them and how you should answer them. That's key to our success. So we're going to go through different classes of immigrations, And this is specifically to America. Different countries have different laws. But we as lawyers, our job is to tailor, to understand those laws and tailor them. So, for example, if you want to go to Qatar and you tell me, hey, Joe, lawyer, I want you to hear me out. What I do, I go study Qatar law, I would understand what we need to do, and then I frame it for you so that you don't get roadblocked in the journey. Okay? So let's start with these categories. So the first one, we call it family-based migration support. This is where native or United States citizens can bring their families, and there's two categories here. The first one is the spouses or unmarried children under 21 or parents of the citizen. Okay, that's key. The law is about key. Okay, if you're U.S. citizen, you can bring your spouse. Okay, you can bring any children that you may have that is unmarried and they are under 21. Okay, so in law, called conditions, they have to be abide and that's to be under 21. No, and then the next phase is you can bring a citizen. So for me, for example, it took me 10 years to become a citizen of America. After that, that's when I was able to bring my mom because I'm a U.S. citizen now. Okay, now I cannot bring my sisters because they are not under 21, okay, I cannot do that. For that category, there is a limited reason, okay? That's the group B. So if you're an American citizen and you have a spouse, you have a married child under 21, you can. There's no waiting period. You can bring them out there. So you have a parent family that you can always bring them. The second one is what we call primary preference category. So now, if you don't fit in the first one, you go to the second one. That's where most of us are fitting, okay? My sister or siblings, that's where they can. Now, the problem with that is it takes long. It takes 20 years, 15 years for the process to move. Just remember this, the American, what they're trying to do is cut the number of migrants. So they continue increasing the years. The Trump is trying to increase that to 30 years from the time you file for them until they come. So if you logically think so, you are a man of 50 plus year like I am. If you file for your sister and Trump changed laws, by the time I'm probably 81, that's when my sister will be coming. Okay, so that's that category there. Okay, and then there is the other one, fiancé, spouse, transition features. That's when an American citizen get a girlfriend here in Kenya, and then they start dating. Then we file what we call K1, and they go up there. They have 60 days or 90 days to get married. If they don't get married with those 90 days, the spouse or the fiance is kicked out and blah, 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 blah. So that's the next slide. Student visas. This is where a lot of us have tried this, okay? It's the most filed visa type in Kenya, in many other African countries, okay? And the one fact that you have to do, it has to be a certified institution in the United States. You can't just go to any college and apply, and they admit you, and then no, it has to be, we call it survey certified institutions, which are colleges, universities, and what have you. And then one condition is you have to remain as a student, okay? You can't just go there and say, well, the last one in Ngumu, and then quit. If you do that, they'll come for you because nowadays, when you go through the airport, they take your eyes, fingerprints, and all that. They know where you live all the time. So ICE, which is Immigration and Custom Enforcement, they'll come for you anytime. So for those who are thinking of going as a student, that's one thing you can't break. You can't break rules. You have to remain as a student, which is very, very expensive because when you go and become a student, you don't have a work permit. So until you finish the first year and then you start working 20 hours a week, which is very expensive in America. Nobody can sustain themselves working 20 hours. Okay, most of us work 2-3 jobs and have other extracurricular activity to raise money. So for students, it's a hardship. So for you parents who are thinking of sending kids to America, it's a great opportunity because I think it is the best education in the world because children from the age of 14, they are starting to be taught vocational. They are starting to go for internship. They are choosing courses that will help in their life. So it's the best colleges in there. However, it's very expensive because that child, you have to finance them. You have to fund them until they finish the first year. And then once they finish the first year, then they can get 20 hours work either in campus or outside campus to finance themselves. So always think about those academic challenges, especially for student visa. Then we have the M1 vocationals. Those are for non-academic vocational training, and no, we don't use those many. I don't see a lot of people doing that because most of the technical institutions in US, it takes a while for them to do that. So I won't, and most of those we see on vocational is old people who just want to go and maybe learn electrical work and things like that. And I'll tell you, if you get a chance to do that and you go to US and you become electricians, that's a money maker because we don't have many there. So for those people who have technical skills, that's one area. If you go to US and you become a technician, whether it's AC, whatever, there's a lot of money there. And then the J1 exchange visas, that's one primarily it's must be sponsored by the government, blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of waivers. It takes a long process because you have to go through pre-approval through the government and things like that. It's not commonly used, but I wanted to highlight it so that if you hear people talking about student visa, it's not just the F1. There are others you can also think about. And there is Chat AI now. All you need to tell Chat AI, if you can't afford a lawyer, hey, Chat AI, I don't want to do a F1. I want to do something else as a student. What visas? And then you continue with Chat AI and ask it, hey, what do I need to do? How can I qualify for this? And it's going to teach you how to do that. Okay. So this is, I think I touched most of these. So yes, maintaining status for the, and I wanted to touch student visa because I know a lot of you and a lot of your friends came here for this. For F1, J1, it's valid until completion of academic year. Once you finished, and then we can apply for you a work permit, which is temporarily. We call it OPT. You get that, and then you have to finish within 60 days, blah, 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 blah. So that's that. For M1 vocational, it's only limited to 30 days. Now, you can imagine you're in US, you have spent a lot of money going through college or training, and then you're only given 30 days. What happened after that? So what you see here is the struggles most people who come from Kenya go through. They go there as a student, they finish being a student, they don't have money to come back home, and they're out of status. They can't be employed, they can't work because they are not legally allowed to work. That's why now they have to start thinking, what happened after I finish college? Okay, it's good I finished college. I can be hired, I can be employed. It's after 1 year, then I get 1 year work permit. Luckily, we can apply for them for another maybe 1 year maximum. Then what happened after those 2 years? A lot of students go through depression, okay? Now, what we do as lawyers is try to find them other ways of them getting papers. If it's a student of exceptional abilities, then there are other certain type of visas we can apply for them. Many of them go now to the family-based visa where they find a fiance over there, they get married, they become green card holders. Or while they're student there, they continue applying for green card, which we'll talk here briefly, and maybe they are lucky, they are selected in the lottery, and they do that. But I want you parents to think carefully and keenly as you're sending your kids to America, to other colleges, on some of those rules and small writing that you don't read behind the card, which really implode what those programs are, okay? Again, the most of the pitfalls is those limitations from a full-time employment. You only work 20 hours and things like that. Employee-based visas. So this is where a lot, okay, I've had people, the Kenyans now, there's a lot of people helping or attempting to help people through employment-based visa in Qatar, all right? American is very complex, okay? There is EB1 to EB5. And if you can see that, and we're gonna share, you don't have to write notes, we're gonna share this slide just to save your time, okay? We have these type 5 type of visas that are available through employment. If you have extraordinary abilities, you are a professor, you are a researcher, you could be working for UN, or you know somebody who can, who can give you those qualifications, then you can really try that. The only issue we see with these is in America, if you're going to America, for example, it has to be advertised for at least 3 weeks to the public, the job, so that if no other American can fulfill that position, then you can bring somebody from other countries. So that's a tough test. You can imagine the whole of America and no one that can do the job you want to go and do. That's rare, but we still do it, okay? EB2 advanced degree holders, etc. That's the same as EB1. It's only that one you require labor certifications, which is where companies have to go and prove that there's nobody else in US can do that job. Okay. EB3 also very similar. That require the employer to sponsor you 100%. It's used mostly by Indian and Chinese who are more into IT. And then we have the EB4. These are special migrants. This is the one that is used a lot in Kenya, where you have churches, organizations that they get together and they bring people saying, hey, we are going to church there, blah, 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 blah. And then once they are there, they sneak in and look for employment other way. And then the last one, I don't see it quite often. It's used by the rich people. If you have $800,000 to about 1.5 now, you can come and invest in US, okay? They are money hungry, they're investors hungry. So if you have that kind of money or you know somebody with that kind of money, then you can do that. I'm gonna stop here, and in the next sessions, what we're gonna do mock interview, okay? So, and we're gonna focus maybe on student and family based. And what I'm gonna teach you and coach you is the typical question you find there, how you respond. I'm gonna select a couple of you here, okay? I don't know who it is. And then you're gonna come here and we're gonna do that. And then you typically see, why do people feel as they do when they go to the embassy? Part of it is we have people there who don't want you to migrate. You have to deal with that, you know, especially now with Trump as our president. He doesn't want immigrant, and that goes all the way to the embassies. So, but I'm gonna coach you and teach you a couple of things that I've learned in the process that have worked for other clients. It may never work for you, but at least it is good if you have somebody going for those interviews for you at least to give them an idea. This is what you need to say when they ask this, or this is what you need to think through. So thank you, appreciate it. So I'll see you in a few minutes.
Thank you very much, Wakili. We can't let him go without a round of applause. I mean, this is not information. This is not information that anyone is going to give us for free. So the best we can do is to say thank you by giving him a big round of applause. Please, let's do this again. I have a few questions for him. Those questions that have come, mostly you find out that people are a bit shy, so they are not able to stand up and hold the mic. But they've sent their questions to me, so I have like 2 people have shared their questions with me, and I will ask the questions anonymously on their behalf. Wakili, one of the questions that we have here is, what tips do you have for making a strong visa or green card application?
Great question. So we'll cover that in the next session. And then are they online? Whoever asks, are they online? I know we are televising online, YouTube and all that. Are they online? Or?
The 2 questions I have, one of the persons is online and the other one is physical.
Awesome. So we'll cover that in the next session.
All right. So the other question I have, are there legal options to speed up family reunification?
Yes. And I'll cover quickly because I know we are short of time. So if there are medical, there are some cases where you have medical challenges of the family. Say, for example, your mom is not feeling well and she belongs to that priority class. We can always write motions to the embassy and to USIS to say we need and the good news is for the preference category, there is no limit and there is no time limit. Normally they tell you it is 2 years, but if you have a medical concern or there's somebody in US, for example, if it is me who is very sick and my mom need to come and see me, I can apply for an accelerated processing, which we call premium processing.
Thank you very much, Wakili. So that question has been answered. If you have any more questions and you are unable to ask the question yourself, send it to me and I will ask.